Sean Strickland became a two-time middleweight champion when he beat Khamzat Chimaev in the main event of UFC 328. And man, what a performance by Strickland. He beat all the odds. Just look at that. Chimaev was a minus 500 favorite going into the fight. And Sean Strickland once again pulled off the unthinkable when he beat Chimaev. What really stood out to me in this fight, especially in the first round, was how calm Strickland was when Chimaev got him down to the ground. Of course, it's always known in a Chimaev fight that in the first round he will always get you to the ground, and Strickland did not panic at all. It was so routine for him, peeling off that choking hand, controlling that choking hand, scrambling like crazy. And it's crazy, yeah, that Chimaev, after all that conditioning work he went through, all the videos that came out of him doing all this crazy workouts, he gassed out in the second round. He shot a bad takedown. The Strickland kind of down blocked it, and Chimaev flopped to the ground. Strickland got on top and dominated the second round. Of course, Chimaev won the first round. The third round, again, Sean Strickland won that round, but I think Chimaev got a second win, but he bruised Chimaev up badly. And as you know, Strickland, it's his jab. His jab was working all night on Chimaev. In the fourth round, Chimaev kind of staged a comeback and he was winning that round. I think he broke Strickland's nose in that round. And of course, in the fifth round, Strickland, I would say he kind of won that round pretty clearly. And so Sean Strickland beats Khamzat Chimaev rounds 2, 3, and 5 clearly. Now, I've seen a lot of narratives going around on why Chimaev may have lost that fight. Number one, I think Sean Strickland is really good. And while it may not appear that he is the best fighter, when you just see his fighting style, it looks really unconventional. But I think he's a very, very difficult puzzle to solve when you're in there with him in the cage. He is so hard to hit clean. Every Chimaev was throwing bombs at him, but they were just deflecting off the top of his arms. They were deflecting off his forearms. He was so hard to find for Chimaev. Chimaev, by the way, landed some great body shots, especially in that fourth round. I think Strickland did not like that at all. He kind of hunched over at one point. Number two, people are talking about Chimaev's weight cut. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. As a freaking champion in the sport, it's up your duty to handle the weight cut. You know who had a bad weight cut? Sean Strickland when he faced Izzy the first time in Australia. He had a terrible weight cut. He was literally about to cry on the post-fight show. And guess what? He won. Bad weight cuts are unfortunately a part of the sport. And as a champion, you have to deal with it. And just by the way, it's not that Sean Strickland looked like he was really happy on the scale either. He probably had a pretty rough weight cut too. And number three, I would like to say, you know what I think Chimaev's problem was? When there were videos of him coming out of his training camp, all the people around him seemed to be in such awe of him that they were probably not telling him about his weaknesses, where he had scope for improvement. Everyone was just so awestruck by him. They were telling him how good he was, what a fucking monster he was. And while Strickland, on the other hand, trains with his team all the time, they are probably really frank with him about where he needs to improve. If his cardio is not up to the mark for a championship fight, they're probably telling him that, dude, you need to get your shit together. He spoke on the post-fight show and said his wife was actually his dietitian. Khamzat Chimaev should have, I don't know what his team was. Why was he that heavy going into the fight that he had a rough weight cut to begin with? But a lot of introspection is needed for a guy like Chimaev now. You see this in a bunch of his fights where he kind of has a blistering first round and then he kind of gasses. You saw that in the Burns fight. You saw that in the Usman fight. I think he could have arguably lost both those fights. So the Usman fight could have been a draw, and he may have just lost to Burns on any other day. So this was very interesting. And Sean Strickland is probably one of the greatest fighters of all time, and certainly one of the greatest middleweights of all time. Just look at his wins. Chimaev Prime, Izzy Prime, Fluffy Hernandez, Nasruddin Imavov, Brendan Allen, Jack Hermanson, Uriah Hall back in the day. I mean, these are some fantastic names to have on your record. And Sean Strickland has just proven that he is so good. He's so good. And maybe because of his persona outside the ring, people have a hard time coming to terms with the fact on how good he actually is. When you cut out all the crap, he is just one of the best. And just by the way, he had that really close first fight against DDP, which many people thought he won. And that might just be next for him. Let's see how they go about it. I frankly think they should give a title shot to Imavov. He's earned it. He deserves it. Or they can book DDP versus Imavov right now, and the winner of that fight takes on Strickland. Let's see what happens. Amazing performance by Sean Strickland, and a good showing with Chimaev too. But he might not be the monster that he was made out to be. Sean Strickland wasn't ever in any trouble of getting finished on the ground by Chimaev. He didn't look as dangerous as he usually looked, and all that conditioning work he gassed out in the middle of round two. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting path for Chimaev. Let's see how he does. I think he said after the fight that he wants to move up to light heavyweight. I mean, I don't see why not. He's a huge star in the sport. Chimaev can't just be a random contender in middleweight at this point. He has to go up against big names. And yeah, maybe Paulo Costa at light heavyweight. Who knows? Joshua Van beat Tatsuro Taira in the co-main event, and this was such a great fight. Such a great fight. Joshua Van is nasty with his hands. His boxing is so good. The way he cuts off the cage. Tatsuro Taira was actually the favorite in this fight, which is a little bit surprising to me. I think it's probably not so much that people doubted Joshua Van's skills, but Tatsuro Taira is actually much bigger than him. But Joshua Van is just such a he's so compact as a fighter. Everything, he's always very well shelled up. If he's going and he's throwing shots, he's either moving out of the way, he's guarding himself real good. And this was a great fight. Tatsuro Taira didn't really try and take the back very often in this fight. He had Joshua Van in a little sticky positions at times. He tried to cinch in a guillotine at one point, but Joshua Van is really hip on the ground. He actually tried a rear naked choke on Tatsuro Taira at one point, and this was such a great fight. Tatsuro Taira really needs to work on certain aspects of his striking, maybe sit down on his punches a little more because he was catching Van, but nothing was affecting Van the way Van's shots were affecting Taira. His face was a mess by the end of the fight, and the stoppage I would say was a little bit early, but Tara had already taken a bunch of damage, and we don't want to see a great young fighter like him take a ton of damage. We can always come back later and win the title, and I think he has a really bright future ahead of him. As far as matchups are concerned, Steve Erceg just fought. We could see a Tatsuro Taira versus Steve Erceg matchup. I would have said put him up against Lona Kavanaugh or Brandon Royval too, but I feel like those two will be looking for matchups soon, and I think they'll probably be matched up against each other. The schedules align, and Tatsuro Taira will probably be taking a 6 to 8 month break because he took a ton of damage in this fight. So let's see how they go. What a performance by Joshua Van. Alexander Pantoja next. Let's run it back. Uh, Alexander Volkov beat Waldo Cortez Acosta in the feature fight. He pretty much outstruck Waldo Cortez Acosta on the back foot all through the first and second round. He landed some great leg kicks. Waldo Cortez Acosta had a really hard time closing the distance. He was going in and landing on Volkov in the third round. Volkov wasn't really doing much, and he picked up this unanimous decision victory. Clear win in my view, not much controversy here. And let's see what they do next with Volkov. If Josh Hockett beats Derek Lewis on the White House card, which is next month, maybe they run that. Let's see what happens. But good win by Alexander Volkov. He's on a 2 fight win streak now. He should have won that Cyril Gane fight as well. And he might just be fighting for the heavyweight title before his career is done. He's pretty old now. He's 40, but he is at heavyweight. He doesn't have to go through hard weight cuts and shit. So let's see what happens. Great win by Volkov. Earns a good paycheck and keeps himself active. Sean Brady beat Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley's weakness has been exposed. His wrestling game is not the best. Maybe Sean Brady is that strong on the ground that it's very hard to get him off him. I understand that. But Joaquin Buckley didn't show that he had made some great improvements in the takedown defense. Yeah, he did get up from bottom once, but why are you getting taken down easily again and again with that same body lock double leg takedown? So Joaquin Buckley a lot to work on if he has to fight at a championship level at welterweight. Welterweight will always have grapplers, and you can't get through welterweight without great takedown defense. If you look at all the welterweight champions, they all have really good takedown defense, and Joaquin Buckley's game has been exposed. As far as Sean Brady is concerned, great performance by him, a bit of a snooze fest. He should could have gone for a few more finishes, but hey, a win is a win. He was coming off a knockout loss, and it's always hard coming back from one of those. And Sean Brady shows that he has the fighting spirit in him to come back from a KO victory against a big power puncher like Joaquin Buckley. As far as what's next for Sean Brady, maybe a matchup against Jack Della Maddalena. Like if Sean Brady's told that he has to wait 6 months for Jack Della Maddalena to recover from the Carlos Prates fight, I think Sean Brady is going to wait it out and to fight the former champ. And Joaquin Buckley maybe a Yaroslav Amosov matchup, who also had a great win this card against Joel Alvarez. King Green beat Jeremy Stevens by a submission, tuned him up on the feet. He had Jeremy Stevens kind of rocked, got him to the ground with a takedown, I believe, and subbed him. Great win by King Green. As far as next matchups go, I think he called out Renato Moicano. Let's get that match going in a few months. He didn't take any damage in this fight. Renato Moicano didn't take much damage in his last fight either. Let's get this match going. Unk on unk action. Let's do this. Ateba Gautier beat Ozzy Diaz. The first round was kind of competitive. Ozzy Diaz was holding Ateba Gautier up against the cage on occasions, but Ateba landed a big right hand on Ozzy Diaz and KO'd him in round two. Great win for Ateba Gautier, and it'll be interesting to see where they put him next. He could be in the rankings, but maybe he's very young, so let's play him. Maybe one or two more unranked victories at middleweight, and then he has to get a ranked opponent. He was a minus 1100 favorite in this fight, which is crazy. But big things ahead for Ateba Gautier if they kind of push him the right way instead of bum rushing him up the top of the division, which I don't think they're going to do. Yaroslav Amosov beat Joel Alvarez via submission. His wrestling game looked so freaking dominant in this fight. He showed that why he's 29-1, now 30-1 against Joel Alvarez. And Joel Alvarez has shown to be a really worthy opponent. But Yaroslav Amosov, it was on another level. Big thumbs up for him. And like I said earlier, Joaquin Buckley matchup makes a lot of sense. He's in the rankings now. Grant Dawson beat Mateo Shrambetsky via submission. Great win by Grant Dawson. Showed really good wrestling. His striking is so bad. His right, like he really needs to work on that. Otherwise, he's not gonna make it to the top of lightweight for sure. What the fuck? Jim Miller beat Jared Gordon via submission in the first round. Jared Gordon, really bad performance by Jared Gordon. Roman Kopilov beat Marco Tullio. Great win by Roman Kopilov. Uh, Maybe a Ataba Gautier versus Roman Kopilov matchup is next on the cards. I don't know. He's not ranked, so I don't see why not. Pat Sabatini beat William Gomez. I kind of had Sabatini winning this fight. I think he's really good at what he does. Even though it's not the most entertaining, it's kind of a snooze fest all the time. But great win by Pat Sabatini. By Sangur, Susukayev beat Jorgen Santos by submission. Great win by Jorgen Santos. I think by Sangor Susukayev is a great upcoming middleweight. Maybe it's him versus Ateba Gautier sometime in the future. Let's see what happens. They should kind of slow roll his ascent as well. If he's taking that long to finish Jorgen Santos, maybe he's not up and prepared for the upper echelon of the division yet, but he's great. He's great by Sangor Susukayev. And Jose Ochoa beat Clayton Carpenter. Dominant performance by Jose Ochoa. Keep a watch out for this guy. He's really good. And that's it. That's my UFC 328 recap. Amazing performance by Sean Strickland. Fantastic by Joshua Van. So excited for what's up for these next for these two fighters. And I'm gonna see you all soon. Peace.